That's gonna be a unique image. Hey guys, I hope you're all doing well. I'm coming to you from my new studio space. I have some furniture now, but I still have a few other things to work out. By the way, this is just lemonade, nothing else. Some people like to drink coffee in their YouTube videos, but I don't drink a lot of coffee. In this week's 5 for Friday, I want to talk to you about getting unique wildlife photography images, or to put it another way, how to get the shots that no one else is getting. I think most of us want to do this at some point, and it doesn't really matter whether you're selling your work or whether you are shooting for yourself or whether you're sharing your images with friends and family or on social media. It's a little bit like cooking. If you cook from a recipe, follow all the steps, of course your chance of success will be greater, but you will end up with the same meal that someone else will produce if they cooked from that recipe or a similar recipe. It's a lot more interesting to stretch yourself artistically and creatively to come up with something that no one else has done before, or that you don't see fairly often. So what are some ways in which you can do this? So here's 5. The first thing is that I really try not to shoot alongside other photographers. If I am going to a place and I get there and there are a lot of other photographers, often if I can, I will just go somewhere else. Now this means sometimes I'm really by myself, or sometimes I'm with someone else. It could be a guide, or it could be just a friend. Sometimes I need help to find the animals, or sometimes I need someone to be looking out for me while I'm photographing, especially if the animal is dangerous, or if there are multiple animals, especially if there are multiple dangerous animals in the vicinity. The second thing is that even when I'm alongside other photographers, I always try to take a position that no one else is taking. And when I'm taking out groups of photographers, I always try to help them where possible to take different positions so that they're not all just shooting from the same place. So if I'm with a group, and if it's at all possible for me to get away from the group and just, not far, but if I can get away from the group and just shoot in another place, that can really help. But even if you have to stay together, let's say for safety reasons, often a lot of people are shooting up high, and I've talked a bit about this in my channel previously. A lot of times people are shooting up high on a tripod or a monopod, or they're standing, and often the best shot is low. And so if you can get low, you can lie down, you can crouch down or sit down, you can get a different perspective. The third thing is that I try to use focal lengths that other people are not using. Most of us, of course, have a long lens like a 400 or a 500 or a 600, but it's interesting to try to use shorter focal lengths. I've talked in this channel about how I use 135 millimeters a lot, and sometimes I use that in crop mode, so it's the equivalent of 200 millimeters. Some other focal lengths I've experimented with are 105 millimeters, although my 105 is a Sigma 105 f1.4, and it's a little heavy, so I unfortunately don't often travel with it as much as I would like to. Another way to go is to try using a wide angle lens. So I often use a 24 millimeter lens, and you can use a wide angle in a couple of ways. You can use it to get shots that are more environmental, where you have the subject smaller in the frame, showing more of the environment, but you can also try to use it for close-ups, and you can get some fairly interesting perspectives that way. Another thing that I do is that I really like to embrace difficult lighting. And I'm going to make a whole video about that probably this week. A lot of people shy away from situations where the light is harsh or the light is low, but that's often a time when you can get out there and get some really unique images. And finally, I really like to shoot in harsh environments, even though it is challenging. I made a video recently about my time in Iceland photographing the blue morph Arctic fox. And yeah, we had some challenges there for sure. There was not a lot of light. We had a lot of blowing snow. There was a lot of ice on the ground and on the side of the mountains when I was trying to climb up the mountain. A lot of times it was very slippery, and I'm glad I had crampons. But all of those things, while they were a challenge, helped me to get unique images. So there you go, 5 things. I hope you found those helpful, and I would love to hear from you guys. Is getting unique images important for you, and do you have any other tips for how you get your unique wildlife photography images? Thanks for watching. Don't forget to post below if you have any questions or comments. Like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.